War Eagle War Report family, I'm your host C-Dub, and we have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We talk about the transfer portal, the guys who've left, as well as the new additions to the Auburn football team. Me and B Will be breaking that down and discussing our thoughts and what the competition at these position groups will be looking like come spring and fall. So you definitely want to hear this discussion and join in. So for now, sit back, get your weight up, because tonight we enter the war room.
You are now listening to the War Report. Wednesday night War Room. Brought to you by Auburn Sports.com. Ike Jones. B. Will. C. Doe. Mike G. Let's go!
War Eagle, everyone. War Eagle. Happy Wednesday, guys, and welcome to the latest Wednesday Night War Room, brought to you by our good friends at auburnsports.com. Please be sure to head over there for the latest in recruiting and other news regarding Auburn athletics. Shout out to JG Tate and the good fellas over there. Also, shout out to our War Report community. Guys, we appreciate you watching this live with us. Some of you probably are multitasking as you're getting ready for the Auburn game that's tipping off probably any second now if it hasn't already. But do us a favor, if you're watching live or on replay, share this video using hashtag #GetYourWeightUp, whether it's on Facebook or the Twitter. Please be sure to share it, help people find our content, and let's help us to grow our community. What community, you ask? Become a patron and you can find out. Guys, $5.99 to get you there. We have some great content lined up for you guys, cooking up for you guys in the off season. Ike is like a mad scientist in the lab, looking at film, getting ready to do some great stuff for you. That's some cool ideas we've been discussing in the off season, guys, so that you can check out, get you excited. Of course, it's a long off season, so we're going to come up with creative ways to make this long off season as short as possible by giving you great film review and great content. $5.99 will get you there. Of course, Mike G and I will bring back For the Record. So there's a lot. You're going to get a lot of bang for your buck in the off season. So $5.99 will do just that. Also, guys, please be sure, we're always doing this. We're always about the pup, saving the puppies. Please be sure to donate to our GoFundMe. The Lee County Humane Society is who we partner with to help save the puppies. So definitely be sure to donate there. We greatly appreciate it. Also, guys, please be sure to stop by our merch store. We're constantly putting stuff out there in the merch store. So definitely go to thewarreport.com to shop there and get the latest merch, the He Gone t-shirts, the Lobtown hoodies. Get that today. Also, I think we're going to do, huh?
What are we giving away tonight?
What are we giving away? I'm feeling like a AU. I'm feeling like an AU t-shirt.
All right.
Let's do an AU t-shirt. We're probably going to do the giveaway a little bit differently tonight. What you think, B?
Oh, what you think? Well, I got this. I definitely had to get your weight up hashtag prepped. So hopefully that's the one we're going to use, right?
Yeah. I mean, are we going to do the drawing?
Yeah, we can do it.
Hashtag get your weight up. Do that. Drop it in the chat. We will definitely do the drawing around the hour mark. So you definitely do that. And be sure to check your spelling. It's not get your weight up. It's get your weight up. Get your spelling up and spell it correctly. Get your weight up. We'll definitely do that drawing at the hour mark. B, we've had a live show since our weekend tailgate. It was Ike and Mike talking about the latest commitment to Auburn. Was not the latest anymore. Talked about Robbie Ashford, the kid from Oregon. They talked extensively about it. I want to know, man, what are your thoughts about this pickup? I want to hear from you. How you feeling?
Who knows, man? I don't know anymore. I don't know who we got, who we don't got. When we get guys, I have no idea how they project. I don't know where any of these guys are going to go. By the way, as an aside, I cannot stream the game and watch it while I am doing this show because my internet will slow down. So, chat, please keep us up to date. Please. Can't watch the game. We're doing this for y'all. All right.
I can watch it technically, but I'm the host, so I gotta stay engaged. So yes, please update us. Please be sure to update us on how the game is looking. But go ahead, B.
Honestly, man, I was probably the least worried about, just all right, the transfer portal is good for kids. Let's out the way. The transfer portal is great for students because they can go from a situation that's not working for them to a situation that is working for them. When coaches just up and leave, they can do the same. I am not upset at any player that wants to leave. However, it now feels like, I don't know, you just root for a guy and then he's just gone. And I don't even know I don't know why people are leaving. And it's not just us, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. We've had high profile quarterbacks jump back in the portal after already being in the portal at other teams, not ours. I saw a stat today that said from 2020 and 2021, 63%, no, from 2019 and 2020 recruiting classes, 63% of the 4- and 5-star quarterbacks from those two classes have entered the transfer portal. That is amazing. I'm happy that we're getting these dudes because we needed dudes. We needed competition at QB. But now, for the first time, it's starting to feel like, who am I even rooting for? And why am I rooting for you? Are you going to be gone next year? If you have a bad season or you don't play, you could be gone. If you have a great season and you think you could do better, you're going to be gone. I don't know.
It kind of has it kind of like the significance of signing day is kind of insignificant because what's the likelihood of these big signees, especially if they don't play immediately, hanging around?
Right. I don't know.
Especially with NIL, you could be playing and still hit the portal. So
right.
it's kind of difficult to get excited because there was a time where you would have an impressive signing class and you were expecting that class, outside of injury or whatever disciplinary issues, you expecting that class to stay with you for their whole college career. And now it's like we got these guys potentially on a rental.
That's what all of it is. It puts so much pressure on coaches now because I'm looking at a program like Arkansas. They have had a bunch of guys leave. And I thought it was over right after the season ended. I thought after the season ended, all right, everybody's had their opportunity to see how the team was, to see what it might be going for, where the guys who are going to leave say they're going to leave or they say they're going to stay, or really after the bowls were over, after the bowl games have been played. But then we have signing day, and then the next semester starts, and then there's a whole new wave. I'm like, wait a minute, what changed between the end of the bowl game and now? What happened in that span that caused these guys to go, nah, I'm out of here? And it's not just guys who have a clear trajectory to a program where they could be more productive or starting spot either. No, it's guys who are getting in the portal who don't even have anybody calling for them yet. They haven't. They've been in the portal for a week or two and haven't gone anywhere. What is there to be gained? I mean, I'm all for a guy saying, look, the coach told me I was going to play. I didn't get to play, so I'm out of here. Or the coach who I liked, who had been training me, who had been teaching me the game, he left. I trusted him. I don't trust these new guys. I'm out of here. And now, man, I don't know. I'm confused as to what the motivation to leave these places might be. For a team like Arkansas, and I know that's not us, I don't think you could have a better rebuilding in 2 years than Arkansas had so far with Sam Pittman. Mm-hmm. You have a rough first year, but you show a lot of fight. Year 2, you come out, you beat a couple of big boys, people who recruit better than you. You have you win your bowl game, and you might be. I mean, they're not top tier in the SEC, and they never will be, just logistically. But man, that's the program. That's the momentum you need to build your program. It looks rough, but you fight. It looks better. You win some. You got some great players coming in. They got you had Treylon Burks declared for the league. KJ Jefferson. I mean, he's not an all-world quarterback, but he is a very good quarterback, a productive one. You got Kendall Browse, and now people are leaving left and right, and it makes me wonder now. So, what does success look like for anybody that's not Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, maybe USC now, depending on how quickly Lincoln Riley can get things drummed up over there. Maybe Clemson, to see if they can kind of hold on to some of the magic. If you aren't those schools, what does success even look like? You could have the best year you've had in 10 years and then lose half your starters. So now I don't know. I squarely put this on the NCAA though. And it's not because kids can do this. It's because they didn't think through. They never wanted to give kids the right to make any money off of themselves. So they pushed it back and avoided it until everybody said, look, we're doing this without y'all. And now they had to open the floodgates all at once instead of thinking through policies that made sense for student athletes to make money on their own name, instead of thinking through processes by which the transfer portal makes the most sense. Are these the most ideal rules for transferring? Instead of metering these things out slowly, see how they go, adjust it over time, all of a sudden, it's just the Wild West. And I don't know how it shakes out for anybody. Honestly, I have no idea.
What does the NCAA do?
I mean,
and you can't say they become the bad guys. It's not like the NCAA was well liked anyway. So, like, what do you do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is a win right now. I do think something will happen in the next few years because too many coaches, big coaches, are saying this is too much. I saw a clip of Kirby Smart in an interview saying a lot of coaches that he knows and has known for years are saying, I'm done with college because now I have to recruit so much. Now I have to worry about NIL and re-recruit players I've recruited. Now you have to work harder even.
Yeah.
And I think about that, like, what's the appeal if you're a football guy and you coach pros? What's the appeal to come down to college? Pros, you don't have to worry about getting players. That's the GM's job. Organizing everything. These are full-grown men who are supposed to put 40 to 50 hours a week together into play and practice. You don't have to corral them. You don't have to worry about NCAA sanctions. You don't have to worry about anything. You just show up, coach your players, and go home. You don't have to drive down 5 hours down the road to go watch a kid play on Friday night. You're at home with your family. I mean, honestly, it sounds like a better deal at this point because now it's messy and there are so many rules and not so many rules at the same time. It's really messy. And we started trying to talk about Robbie Ashford, so I'm sorry. But what this means and what this made me feel was, I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little indifferent about the team, and that will change once I see us on the field. Once I see some spring practice footage, once I see some A-Day footage, I will have to get attached to whoever is out there on the field because right now, I don't feel attached to this team the way I used to, and that's just what it is right now.
James Buckley says DD gone. Now, is that a prediction or something we don't know, James? So let us know in the comments. Jazzy Joe, appreciate you, buddy. Okay, guys, challenge time. You can pick one of two challenges. Either if Auburn wins by 10, I'll super chat 100, or if Auburn wins by 20, he'll super chat 200, but we can only pick one, B. What you think?
Okay, so if they win by 19, does that count as 10? And if it hits a 20-point margin or more, we would have to pick the 20 to get the 200? Is that how that goes?
We got to pick the 20. They got to win by at least 20, I'm assuming.
You know what? I say 10. What do you say, C?
I'm thinking 10-2.
All right.
I'm thinking 10-2.
So we're saying we won't win by 20. We'll win by 19 to 10. So either 10 to 19 points.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Here
good.
we go.
I'm feeling good. You want to just do 20, B?
It's not that we can't, It's not that we can't.
Reggie said B trying to hedge his bet.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You got to think about what you're risking. What are we risking here?
100. The 10 is safe. That's the safe pick.
10 is safe.
Almost surefire.
I'm going to let you pick. I'll be here all day trying to decide. You pick.
Let's go 10. Let's go.
Okay,
10.
there we go. There we go. My conservative friend. Thank you.
I'm conservative. Cleveland says go big. You know what? Screw it. Go big. We going 20. We go. Everybody's saying go 20. We going 20. Right. We going 20. But look at how B looking. B is like, oh.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I can't tell you how many times I had been betting. I remember vividly my very first basketball betting season, and I had done really well. I bet like it was the biggest ticket I ever won. I won over $20,000 on one ticket. It was a very momentous occasion. Me and my wife celebrated. It was really fun. She wasn't even my wife then, but she was my fiance shortly thereafter because I had the money to buy that ring. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I had done good, and I was betting more because I won a lot. So of course I'm gonna bet. And I had like $100 on like 6 or 7 things to win that night. It was gonna be like an $8,000 ticket. And the last game on the parlay was some team winning by like 15 points. And they were up like 17 with 10 seconds left. And the other team dribbles down, hits a garbage time 3. And that was it. They did not cover. I was devastated. I remember I was friends was all in the room. I was like, woo, I'm finna get that. Nah. I don't like living through that. Basketball's fickle, man. Basketball's fickle. So
it is. It is.
If it was football, it'd be easier to call. But basketball's fickle, man. You pull your starters, and then the other team playing hard for their pride just because they know they can't lose the game no more, and give up a 3 or something silly. And yeah, I would take the 10. So Jazzy, we taking the 10. We're saying we will win by less than 20 points tonight.
We taking it. So you are picking it.
No, you said it, so I'm saying that's it.
Okay. I said 20. I said screw it. We're going 20.
Oh, you did. Okay, that's right. All right, fine, whatever. Whatever she said.
20.
You
I know where your heart is, and that's what I would have done, but All
right. That's cool. Yeah. But I don't know. So see
I think I'm going to regret it, but I'm willing to go for the 20. All right. Let's do that. All right. Listen, here's how I feel about Robbie Ashford. Moving on. I'm excited about Robbie Ashford, actually. Okay. And I, of course, being in the Birmingham area, I knew about this kid when he was at Hoover and was hearing good things. I know he got injured his senior year, didn't play a lot. Still put up a few numbers despite his injury. But I felt like this was someone who Auburn definitely had or should have had a chance to get. And I know we talked amongst ourselves. He didn't want to come to Auburn at the current time. And now with us having a new coach, Auburn obviously is now in play. He's at Auburn now. And
last coach was QB repellent.
So for obvious reasons. And to me, I'm looking forward, because this is, to me, I felt like we're going to have the quarterback competition that we thought we was going to have last spring. Because you can argue that Calzada may be the front runner at the present time, right? He's the guy with, you can argue, the most experience as a starter. He's played in some big games. But I really think this QB competition is going to be pretty wide open, at least early. I don't know who separates themselves, but I think we're going to see. I'm really excited and looking forward to this spring. because a lot is up in the air, and this is a very important fall and season for Auburn. And Harsin has a lot riding on it. So I'm curious to see what decisions are made in the spring. I don't want to see them trotting out people that I know don't have a shot.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see Trey Lindsey. I don't want to
Right.
see people who are walk-ons. Like, don't be disrespectful. I want to see some competition. Mike G has sent us in our group chat. He has sent us a video of Oregon's spring game, and Ashford was like the third string, but the people ahead of him, they looked good in the spring game. He looked good, and so I think you got some raw talent there that Harsin and Austin Davis can work with. I'm just excited about the fact that he's brought in guys who's going to push each other, and I'm waiting on the cream to rise to the top. What are your thoughts, man?
So let me ask you this then. Do you think the spring with the camp is it 4 weeks of practice or 5 weeks? Because I think 2 weeks is like just weightlifting, and then it's 4 weeks of practice after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So do you think that's long enough time to actually give everybody a shot? Like that's my question now. TJ Finley is the only person who has been with this coaching staff and run any semblance of this offense. Calzada is a veteran in years in college. He's been through a lot of practices. He's got just under 1 full year of starts. Ashford's got no starts, very few reps, if any. Didi's got no starts, no reps. Garner's got no starts, no reps. So if Ashford is coming here, they just signed him right now. So I don't think they would sign him to bury him on the depth chart. I don't think that's going to happen. They've got to give him a shot in spring. Like everybody who you just brought in, you sold them something. You told them something that they liked, and that was probably you're going to come in here and compete. If you're the best, you'll play. I imagine that's what he's telling people based on what we hear about Harsin, that he's telling them, if you win the competition, if you are the best, you will play. You've got to give these guys reps. I don't think it can be like it was last year where Shell Garnett didn't really get any reps, and a lot of people just didn't get a shot, really. Like, yeah, they gave some walk-on, some snaps, but Grant Lloyd obviously didn't have a chance at starting at any point or getting significant reps. I mean, TJ was out there on 1 foot, and they still didn't put Grant Lloyd in. So if they really mean, if they want us to believe that 3 of the 4, and when I say 3 of the 4, I mean Finley, Calzada, and Ashford, all have a legitimate chance to be Auburn University's starter at the quarterback position in the fall of 2022, you got to give them some time in spring. You have to install the offense with these guys and let them run it. Otherwise, they're going to be so far behind come fall that there's no real chance they could be the starter. So is that what they're telling us? Is 4 weeks enough time to even let that happen? Because technically you got 4 guys. Well, at least 3. You've got 3 guys. All of them have been out of high school for at least 2 years. Ashford,
Finley, and
Calzada. So you're telling me 3 quarterbacks are going to get significant reps in just the spring. In 4 weeks, 3 quarterbacks, 2 of which are learning a brand new system, are going to get enough burn to actually be able to say that they took control of the job. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be Finley and Calzada battling out for the first team. I think behind them, behind those guys, you got Ashford. Yeah. I think Ashford is behind whatever reps are left. Ashford gets those. I don't know what happens between now and then if D Davis has something to say about it, but I thought it was very telling that they brought in Ashford about this. This lets me know what they feel about Davis right now. And from a talent standpoint, we know what this kid is capable of. So I don't think it's talent per se that's keeping him from seeing the field, right?
Yeah.
I think it's something else. It has to be something else. And we've listened to Harsin talk about we got receipts from him stemming back to Oregon. I mean, not Oregon, but Boise.
Yeah, Boise.
About the reason why you're not seeing guys on the field. Either they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, or they're not doing what we're asking them to do.
Yeah.
He said that back at Boise, and I have to believe that's the same guy who's our head coach at Auburn. If you're not seeing the field, and we saw this with guys who are no longer with our program now, we were asking, why aren't we seeing certain players who we know from a talent standpoint deserve to be on the field, but we're not on the field?
Right.
The reason they were not on the field is because of the things I just mentioned. They either don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, or they're just not. And this is a head coach who's very detail oriented. This is a coach who actually focuses on those little things. And we've seen him reward people that we personally at the time didn't feel like should be starting or should be getting first team reps. But obviously those are guys who are doing the things in practice throughout the week, Sunday through Friday, the things he wants. And they are the ones that seeing the field because he is installing culture. And I think for some of guys on our team, there's been some entitlement. There's been this, I'm that guy, I'm talented, I'm better than him, I shouldn't have to prove myself to a guy who just got here. And it's the wrong attitude.
Yeah.
So I don't know what changes between now, but Harsin has sent the message that if you're not going to do what I want you to do, if you're not going to buy in, I will bring guys who are bought in from the jump.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be how it's going to go. And I mean, it's hard to argue with him though, right? This is his program. He's going to run it the way he wants to run it. I think that's going to be beneficial when we do fill out this roster to where it's nothing but the guys he wants to have. It's going to be great. I think we will be great. I don't think we'll be suffering from, hey, our most talented wide receiver didn't really carry the culture like the coach wanted to. Right. So we don't see him, and now we look suspect at wide receiver for like half the season. That was a liability. Wide receiver was a liability, partially because we didn't have a fantastic room, a very experienced room, but also because he didn't let some of the talent on the field. It's hard to not be upset at that when we are losing games because we don't have the best talent on the field.
Right.
In 2 years, when it's nothing but his guys, we've got to assume that the best talent on our team will be on the field because those guys will be bought in just as much as the guy who's a walk-on.
Right.
And then it'll look different. So I'm reluctantly, let's say this, I'm optimistic because I do think Harsin is a better coach. We instantly, him being here, what we saw between September and October was a very big difference. Now, we saw some terrible things in November. We did. But we knew we had some liabilities, and I think that they disguised them for a while. We didn't necessarily have the right guy calling plays. He's fixed that. We needed some more competition at QB. He's fixed that. We needed to reload in the secondary. They fixed that. And offensive line, we kind of got the same old guys, right?
Right.
Got the same old guys. So we haven't won, and this is still a really big concern of mine. Our offensive line needed a boost, and we got more of the same from how many guys are returning. We got 3 guys coming back. It's not that these guys were terrible. They were decent. They needed to be better in the run game. We can make some assumptions about how much better they can get with another year, and especially with cohesion. Keeping one of those guys would have been cool, but keeping 3 of the guys who are already up to standard as far as communication, strategy, and style of play on the line, that's a really good thing. However, man, that means of all the guys who hit the portal who were good offensive linemen, we didn't get any of them. There was a Western Kentucky offensive lineman. I think he already recruited, committed elsewhere. 2 guys from Virginia. We didn't get them. There were very few. There were less offensive linemen to get than there were quarterbacks, which is wild. But we did not get a one. That is concerning. Is Will Friend that guy for us at offensive line coach, or is he not?
Listen, I've been the one to say let's give him the 2023 to see what he does, but I cannot defend what he has done up to this point.
Yeah.
I cannot because all these coaches started around the same time with this staff, and they've been able to get some guys.
Right.
And the thing that we were sold on with Will Friend was that, you know, he had success at Tennessee. He's coaching the SEC. He can recruit. And I thought it was very interesting that guys left Tennessee. Offensive lineman Wanye Morris comes to mind. Didn't follow Will Friend.
Right.
I thought that was very telling.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting, I should say. So he's on the clock. I think after year one, he is easily, now that Bobo is gone, the least popular coach on our coaching staff. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see what he's able to do in terms of development with the guys we have versus the talent he's attracting to Auburn as well. Brian Hancher says culture is hard to change. Look at Florida. Listen, culture is going to be hard to change just in this new normal we have that's college football, because it's, again, kids don't have to be locked in anymore.
Yeah.
Like kids can be just as fickle as coaching staffs can be now.
Yeah.
So given Harson's I just don't know the timing of, I'll be honest, the timing of Harsin. I like Harsin. I like what he stands for, but I really don't know, given how freely guys can leave a program and NIL deals and whatnot. I don't know if that makes it a lot tougher to change this culture.
So you think he might be a better coach in 1995 than 2022? I mean, he's an old school coach.
He's old school, but
he's an old school coach.
I don't know if the times are conducive for this type of style.
Well,
because you got, and the guys have mentioned in the comment section, you got social media running right alongside this issue as well. Yeah. A guy gets mad, he goes straight to social media. You know, and these are things that Harsin has no patience for.
Yeah.
None. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how you navigate this. And it's not like we're giving him a lot of grace, right? The last 3 Auburn coaches that have had losing records in the season have all been asked to leave prior to Harsin. Chiswick did it, 3-9, gone. Tuberville 5-7, gone. Terry Bowden didn't even get a chance to finish the season.
Yeah.
They was like, pack your stuff now.
Yeah.
Bill Oliver will see us the rest of the way. We don't do well with losing seasons.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this, I like Harsin. I really do like Harsin. I think he is bringing a change that Auburn needs. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if he has enough time with the way college football is changing to change the culture at Auburn.
That's a good point.
You take away NIL and the transfer portal. I think he has a legitimate shot. But I don't even think he has the same problems at Auburn that he had at Boise. I think these are new issues that he's dealing with.
I agree. I agree that they are new problems, and they are new problems because he's dealing with talent he didn't have to deal with. I think at Boise, you can say, here's where we are, here's how we do things. And you can't just skip and jump to the next best thing being an hour and a half away or 2 hours away.
Yeah.
We've got, within a 200-mile radius of Auburn, you've got 2 powerhouse programs. 2 of the top tier programs are right next door on either side. So you can lose guys to Alabama or Georgia. In Boise, you could say, yeah, go to North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Washington. Washington was only good for a hot second before Chris Peterson left. That I think that is something he has to deal with, not just hey, guys want money to come here through NIL, or hey, guys can just leave when they don't like things. But now it's you aren't even the biggest fish in the pond anymore. You aren't even the third biggest fish in the pond. We aren't even the sixth biggest fish in the pond. Texas A&M throwing around money like they are. LSU, a perennial recruiting powerhouse. Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, if they are on the right track, they are a just as entitled program as any other program in the SEC. I'll say that. They've had enough success in our lifetimes that they believe that they should be a powerhouse. So they are going to put resources into it, which, hey, McDonald's, I'm loving it. So it's tough now because the hard-nosed coach angle works when the kids can't go anywhere. When they can, it hurts you. We have to assume, and really what we're waiting for is, can he find only the guys that are his type of guys? Like that's it. It's just got to be the nose to the grindstone, straight-laced kids, stay out of trouble. I'm here to work. I don't mind, doing whatever you ask me to do, no matter what it is. If you tell me to sit on the bench, I'm sitting on the bench. If you tell me I need to just lift weights this year, I'm just lifting weights this year. Whatever you tell me to do, coach, I'm going to do it. I think there are those guys out there. Those guys exist, and some of them are 4- and 5-star talent, but overwhelmingly, they probably aren't. And now you are looking for diamonds in the rough everywhere. You're looking for that Josh Jacobson, the 3-star who's just this unbelievable worker who you can turn into a 5-star talent. Like that is now what we seem to be in the market for. Guys who were slept on wherever they were at, or in high school, they're recruited, but not recruited too hard. And you and your staff see, you know what? I could turn you into something. All you got to do is be willing to work. And it's not that those guys aren't valuable. We've got a lot of those guys, and I'm glad we got those guys. But where does that leave us in the landscape of the SEC with the people that are around us? Because those guys, and to Saban's credit, what he has been able to do is, it's not that he's been able to get 3 stars and make them work hard like Tuberville. Tuberville turned walk-ons and 2- and 3-star recruits into NFL players. And we rarely ever got a 5-star under Tuberville. What Saban has been able to do is take 5 stars and now make them work as hard as the 3 stars would have to step up to the next level. It's hard to beat that if all you're getting are guys who are just as talented, but a little bit shorter at wide receiver, just as talented, but a little undersized at linebacker, just as talented, but don't have as long arms as cornerback, because that's the difference between those 3- 4-star guys and 5-star guys. It's not that the skill sets are just way off. No, it's that they have elite skills and elite athleticism and size at the exact same time. So if you're telling me we've got guys with elite skills, but the guys with the elite athleticism are somewhere else, now it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle. So
I think winning again, he can't go 6 and 7. I think if he improves and wins, he, like I said, some people have mentioned, he does buy himself time. I just know that he's not changing this culture is going to take some time. I think is the argument that I'm making, given how college football is changing. And we have to get acclimated to guys just leaving, because I think after the national championship game, Bama was up to like 13 guys in the portal.
They've had the most guys in the portal so far in the SEC.
And so it's gonna be a part. It's just the new normal now, and I think we just got to get used to that. Mr. Gibson says, if you're kicked out of 10 gas stations, are the gas stations the problem, or you? If the O-line target commits, are the recruits the problem, or friend?
He's saying if they don't come here, because we were asking, is Will Friend the guy? So yeah. So
what I'll say about Will Friend is that I've heard positive statements made by guys on the O-line about him. They have taken to him, and they have improved in pass pro. Run blocking is still some work to be done there. That was a bit disappointing, considering that we were decent in 2020. It looks like we took a step back there.
It could be an adjustment going from gap to zone.
Yeah.
gap scheme to the zone scheme, and that is probably what some of it is. And maybe another year helps these guys.
And I think that's a part of it. But then we didn't look as lost. Like Nick Brahms didn't look as lost in this year. So there are some things that I did see out of Friend that was an improvement over what we experienced years prior. I'm just waiting. I've always said 2023 was going to tell me everything I need to know about him as a recruiter. I don't know if he makes it that long. I'm not saying that he does.
We'll see.
But if he does, that will tell me everything I need to know about Will Friend. So we're going to pause here. We definitely want to cover some of the other guys who have committed to Auburn, and some guys who have departed. But we want to pause now. Guys, get the thumbs up. Please be sure to hit like on this video if you're watching either on replay or live with us. We're going to pause to acknowledge the sponsors of the War Report.
The War Report's Wednesday Night War Room is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. University Ace Hardware, located at 2101 East University Drive in Auburn, Alabama, right across the street from the Auburn Mall and next to the movie theater. For all of your hardware needs, Ace is the place. And our giveaway sponsor, GWT2 Energy. If you want the best in the business at restaurant logistics, check out our friends at GWT2Energy.com.
Hey guys, become a patron with us. $5.99 will get you there. We have great content coming for you guys in the off season. We're going to do some cool things, man, in terms of may not chop it up as much as we did last year, but we will bring on some special guests to talk football with us. We got film review on the way. Mike G and I will be doing For the Record again. So there is no such thing as the offseason at the War Report, and $5.99 will be giving you content that you won't find anywhere else. Please be sure, guys, to donate to our GoFundMe. Help us save the puppies. We partner with the Lee County Humane Society, a great partner, a great part of the Auburn community. Please be sure to donate. Every bit helps. Also, guys, we're giving away a t-shirt. Hey, you. Hashtag get your weight up in the chat, guys. Definitely want to enter for an opportunity and a chance to win a t-shirt with us tonight. Also, if you don't win a t-shirt, you can stop by the merch store. Please go to thewarreport.com to pick up your latest merch. He Gone, Lobtown, great merch over there. Mike G says it's Egyptian cotton. It's just regular cotton, y'all.
It's cotton.
It's just regular cotton.
Hype us up.
But it still looks good. It still looks awesome.
It does,
so definitely head over there. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but guys, we are on podcast. Everywhere podcasts are streamed, guys. You can definitely check us out there. And B Will, what's some things you're doing, man, in terms of podcasts? You're putting out a little bit more in these weeks, aren't you?
Yeah, man. We're finally getting that Wednesday Night War Room and Weekend Tailgate up on podcast. So what's happening is the first 30 minutes of this show that you just heard up until that ad break, that's going to be up for you guys tomorrow, early afternoon in podcast form. The second half of the show that we're about to do, that'll be up on Friday morning. And on Sunday, we have the Weekend Tailgate, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube Live. But if you miss it, you want to work out on Monday morning, guess what? The first half of the Weekend Tailgate is going to be on podcast waiting on you. The second half of the Weekend Tailgate will be up on Tuesday morning. So we're going to have that. And whenever we have a special session, like we did the talk about Robbie Ashford, that went up yesterday, a day later after we had the surprise live about it. So working really hard to get you guys some content, more timely fashion. I know that was a lot of people's complaint. Hey, it takes time. I am working like a Hebrew over here to make sure y'all can get these podcasts in a timely fashion. So we heard you. We are working. Believe that.
Faux show. Also, this is a reminder, guys, a special reminder that not only did Virginia double dribbled, but Auburn is currently up 22 points over Georgia.
All right.
It's not halftime yet. It's not even halftime yet. It's early, but I'm liking the fact that we went for it. All right. I'm feeling good, B. I'm feeling
glad
good,
you picked,
bro.
not me.
So yeah, I'm feeling good about that, man. So listen, let's get into discussing some other guys. Let's talk about departures real quick. We did discuss Lee Hunter.
Yeah.
On Sunday, but we were also hearing that JJ Pegues could be right behind, and he was. JJ Pegues departed. He appears to be heading to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that, sir?
I mean, I don't. It makes me wonder now if the move to D-line back in the spring was what he actually wanted. Number one, if he couldn't come to some type of understanding with the coaches and the coaching staff about what his position would be going forward. So he said, "Hey, listen, we're stacked at D-line. Can I go back to tight end?" No. I'll see y'all later. I'm out of here because I want to play tight end. That's why I came here. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm out. Or if Eason leaving was kind of a deal breaker. Well, if he was like, yeah, you know what? I like playing D-line. I'm good over here. I got better as the year went on, but my guy left. That was my guy. So I'm not going to wait around to see what happens. I'm just going to go ahead and go somewhere else. I know that he was from Mississippi. So him going back for the home state school kind of makes sense. And we're seeing that a lot with a lot of the transfers.
Oh, for sure.
They're going close to wherever they were from. All of the Oregon guys we got, they were from the state of Alabama, and they all came home. So we're seeing a lot of guys get closer to home to play. And if he's going home, hey, I'm not upset at it.
That is a good point. Philip, you mentioned it, and as you were talking, I have not seen. Yeah, I don't see Lee Hunter yet in the portal. Now, Pegues is there. Pegues is in the portal, but I have not seen Lee Hunter yet. So interesting. Okay. I don't know if he's holding out for who we bring in or what, but yeah. I'm hoping we definitely keep hang on to him. I know it was going to be interesting. I know Ike alluded to the fact that with JJ, this could end up. This was a possibility once he was asked to change positions.
Right.
And I think Eason was the reason he was even giving it a go.
Right.
You know, if it wasn't for Eason, he probably would have been left earlier.
Right.
And I think once Eason took off, the guy who was keeping him motivated and even staying with this move is gone. And now he really wants to do it. So to your point, I don't know. I don't think he really did want to do this. I think he wanted to be a tight end. So yeah, I best wishes to him. I know we had a deep tight end room. So and I'm curious to see, and I asked B this before we went live. You know, do you know what he's going to end up playing? I think it's going to be really interesting to see what position they list him as. If it's tight end or line, that'll tell you everything. If it's tight end, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, that would let us know exactly not exactly what the issue is. I see a couple people in the chat saying that his girlfriend goes to Ole Miss, so. You know, it has some weight to it as well. So you want to get closer to home where your girl's at to play the position that you want to play. I mean, it sounds like a good deal for the young man. So as with all the players, wish him the best.
Yeah. Mr. Gibson said, you misread my question. Can Friend actually recruit? He is doing the worst out of any.
Okay, gotcha. And that's what we kind of figured. It was kind of hard to. But yeah. It looks like no, and just being 1 year doesn't matter because how good has Eason done in 1 year? What is Zach Etheridge doing in 1 year? I mean, Caddy might be close to.
I think a better comparison is like someone like Caddy on the offensive side. Like, it's kind of easy to recruit that side of the ball because of the success we've been having and the talent that's over there. But the offensive side has been a work in progress because people want to see something, right? But lineman, you should be able to get lineman because it's not like he has not been in the SEC. I think that's the thing that sticks with me. You can almost give Harsin, some of the guys from Boise, a bit of a mulligan because they're getting acclimated to the landscape. But Friend has been in the SEC.
Okay, so who was doing the work at Tennessee? Was it him or was it Ronald McDonald? I mean, we're giving him, and I think this comes into play anytime people talk about recruiting. Like people talk about, oh, Kirby's such a good recruiter, and Nick is such a good recruiter, or Dabo's such a good recruiter. Listen, no. These individual guys are not as good a recruiter as the resources that they have lined up for kids to take advantage of once they get to that school. Sometimes those resources look like Happy Meal containers, all right? Sometimes those resources look like Dodge Chargers. But no matter what, it is not as simple as saying, oh, that guy recruited well. We had some top 10 recruiting classes under Gus Malzahn while Gus was here. If I take one defensive player, the highest rated defensive player, off of each one of Gus Malzahn's recruiting class, it drops like 6 spots. Offensively, Gus was not recruiting fantastic. Our offensive line looks the way it does because he could not close the deal and get top-tier offensive linemen. The quarterback room was a mess for a while because we had scrubs behind whoever the first quarterback was. And sometimes the first quarterback was a scrub. That has happened. That is because we were getting out-recruited with offensive talent by the people around us. The defensive side was doing okay. But do I give Gus credit for doing, for what Rodney Garner was doing? For what Coach Mad Dog was doing? Crime Dog, I'm sorry. His name was Ruffin. We're giving the overall recruiting class credit to the head coach. It is never that simple. It is never, ever, ever that simple. I don't buy it. And for that reason, I am not giving the quality of the offensive lineman that went to Tennessee. I'm not giving Will Friend that credit because there's a lot that goes into why those kids choose those schools. A lot.
Right.
And Will Friend apparently is not that guy, especially here for a no-nonsense head coach who is saying, I only want this type of guy. Now go convince that kid to come here. Well, he's not doing much of anything at all. So I am really not. I'm not a fan so far.
Yeah, he has not lived up to expectations. We'll that's just he has not lived up to expectations. Let's talk about this guy here.
Okay.
Eugene Asante. This guy's from Virginia, Centerville, 6'1", 220. Last year had 23 tackles, half tackle for loss, 1 pass breakup, 2 QB hurries. He is the 5th commit from the portal and will be a senior with 2 years of eligibility left. So how is this outside? And he's actually an outside linebacker, but I'm listing a lot of our guys as linebackers in this upcoming graphic. Here's who we got coming back, B.
Mm-hmm.
Leading the pack is, of course, Owen Papo. You got Eugene there, Desmond Tisdall, Wesley Steiner, Joko Willis, Cam Riley, Cameron Brown, Jake Levant. The additions, Robert Woodyard, Powell Gordon out of Auburn. Of course, Eugene Asante is mentioned here again as an addition. How do you feel about this room? I know that there was a concern with the production of Zacoby leaving, going to the NFL. We saw what we look like in run defense against a team that can run read option. We kind of struggled when he was gone. We struggled there. And so I want to know your opinion. How do you feel about this room going into spring, going into fall? I mean, it could be some movement here, but are you optimistic about this? Do you think that, we're able to really replace that production that was left behind by Zacoby?
I don't think we'll know if we have a linebacker that can identify and react the way Zacoby could until we get into the season. I don't think there's any way to know it. I think there are a lot of ways to measure linebackers. You can measure by their height and how many tackles they get, how long they are, because that helps them, get to guys faster. Their foot speed, which Papo, he's really fast and strong, but he couldn't identify like Jacoby could. He wasn't as sure of a tackler. Papo, I remember the first few games, I remember thinking, man, Papo, how he got his hands on the quarterback a couple times and he couldn't get him down.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, hey, man, these are skills that don't show up on measurables. If you told me a guy is 6'3", 225, 230, and he's playing outside linebacker and he runs a certain speed, I'm like, oh, we're good. But all of a sudden, I'm turning on the tape and I really don't know. I don't know what to expect, because the things about how sure he is as a tackler, how well he can identify who the ball carrier is, that's something that you have to get on the field and see.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume now T. Will was a linebacker and he was a great player. So it makes sense that he could identify that in Zakoby McClain, get him here, get him on the field relatively early, and have him be very productive early, recognize some of those qualities that T. Will had in himself. And so it makes sense that could happen. However, I don't know if we have that guy here. I heard a lot of stuff with what's his name? Powell Gordon. I've heard a lot of people say that Powell Gordon is a really good linebacker. And maybe we're overlooking him because he wasn't highly touted, because he came right out of our backyard at Auburn High. But we need a guy who can see, diagnose, and react quickly. And so maybe we have that guy here. Hopefully what we need to have is coaches that recognize it in camp and practice, and put whoever that guy is that needs to be that middle linebacker, put that guy on the field early enough that, yeah, listen, we're going to go through some growing pains. We got 5 home games to start the season. Let's get it going now, right now. Even if it's a little ugly, it's okay. We can win some games at home, and you get comfortable playing your position in these games, in this atmosphere, before we send you on the road. And it's not quite as nice. It's not as easy to diagnose. It's not as easy to get up and get fed by your home crowd. So I say we have to have faith in the coaches, that they know what they're doing and that they can identify the talent, even if we don't see it right now. Right now, all I see at linebacker is a bunch of measurables. Oh, great. Yeah, he's really smart. I want to see him. Joko Willis, big hitter. Cool. I want to see him. Smoke was a big hitter. He also missed tackles. I need to see that you are a quick identifying, quick reacting, sure tackler, and you don't have to run a 4.3 if you can do that. You don't have to have lightning speed. You don't have to be the longest linebacker, have huge wingspan, if you can diagnose, react, and be sure tackling. So we'll see.
Listen, after I saw Joko Willis hit that guy on special teams, I'm curious to see if he can be that guy who can diagnose a play. That's somebody that I'm actually interested in seeing what he does this spring. I know he didn't get a lot of opportunities. He didn't get a lot of opportunities this season, but I'm curious to see what he does if he takes advantage of this opportunity, or if it's a new guy, if it's Eugene Asante, if he's able to show us something. I think we got guys, we got bodies who's willing to step up. I think it's a lot like the QB position. Yeah. So I'm curious to see what happens there with that with linebacker, and yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. I think we're good. I think we're good in terms of linebacker. We're gonna talk about the DB commit out of the portal after we come back from the giveaway. It's almost giveaway time, but before that, let's stop to acknowledge Rogue Shop, the newest sponsor of the War Report.
This segment of the War Report is brought to you in part by RogueShop.com. If you're in need of high-quality, all-natural herbs and extracts that contribute to a happy, healthy lifestyle, the Rogue Shop is the place for you. With a variety of products that contribute to a healthy sleep, lower stress, and a happy mood, the Rogue Shop has you covered. Visit them at drogueshop.com and use code RAPPORT today. Tell them the War Report sent you.
Guys, it's giveaway time. Now I know what Ike is going, like what Ike experiences, because we were saying get your weight up in the comments, but we hadn't quite yet set up the giveaway drawing. So we only have like 29 entries.
No, we
so
got
far.
more. We got
got more?
Yeah, we got 60. Let me go ahead and put that up. We got 60.
Okay, we're good.
It was counting. It was counting.
Okay. Good
so
deal.
Let's give everybody a minute to get back in here.
Guys, you know what to do. You know what to do. Hashtag get your weight up. Let's see here. We at 63. Wait till we get, what do you think about maybe 70?
Yeah, when we hit 70, we'll go. I want to put this back up because Mr. Gibson, to be clear, no, I don't think Will Friend can recruit. I think the school was doing some work for him. I think the money bags were doing some work for him. I think he's probably he's probably just a good coach. Recruiting, some people are better at recruiting than others. And that's just how it is. I don't think he's a great recruiter, but I think he's probably a good coach. I don't know if he's a great coach yet. I have no idea.
Right.
No, I don't think he's a great recruiter. I think we would have seen some returns. The first recruit for 2023 that we've had this in the last few weeks was it Brayton Joyner? Was that him? Offensive lineman?
Yeah.
So that was a big one in our backyard again.
But again, that's 2023. Like I'm waiting to see, like, if he brings in a few more guys for 2023, I think he can change this narrative about him. Just right now, he just doesn't look good. Just because he hasn't brought in anyone of, I mean, he was able to bring in a kid, a tackle from the 2021 class, the kid out of North Carolina. His name is escaping me right now, but he was able to do that. But I just think we were kind of sold on Gibson as being this real good recruiter who was going to really bring in some guys.
So my friend, you mean you said Gibson? You talking about him?
Not Gibson, but Will Friend. Yeah, like we were waiting on him to bring in someone like this year. He was going to make some, but he hasn't quite done that. And so when you look at what's been happening on the defensive side, you look at the fact that Caddy is bringing in guys. We're wondering what's going on with Will Friend. What's going on with this guy? So I don't think he's been as good as advertised when he got here.
Right.
For me personally, the jury is still out on if the guy can recruit at all. I don't think he's that great of a recruiter, but I'm willing to see if he's really, because from what I've read, I think the kid that's currently committed out of Auburn just likes Auburn. I don't sure.
Hey,
and that's great. We'll take it.
We'll take it.
But I don't. If Will Friend was to leave, I don't think the kid is looking elsewhere. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what people what more bodies he brings in for the 2023 class, and that'll tell me. And I'm talking about out of high school. That'll tell me a lot about what we need to know, because you've had now 2 years to bring in somebody for this class. And if you're not really bringing in a strong recruiting class, then that tells me he's really not that great of a recruiter. So
I agree. All right.
Ready to pull it?
Let's pull it. Who we got? The War Report was in there. Really? Was that Ike or Mike?
That's probably me.
Wade Jackson. Wade, where you at? Wade.
James already saying he gone.
That man didn't even
Wade, let us know if you're here, man. We'll be looking out for him.
I'll be looking out.
Congratulations if you're here. Hopefully you're here. A lot of people don't think you are, but Wade, let us know if you won. Let us know if you're here. We know you won. Let us know if you're here. Please do. There you go.
Wade Jackson. You got to hit
us
up.
You know what to do, sir.
At thewarreport.com. You're supposed to hit us up with
it's business at the War Report. Give us your address and give us your shirt size. Again, we don't have mediums, but again, that's the threat we usually tell people that we'll send you if you don't send the shirt size. Apparently, y'all not sending your shirt sizes, just your address. So be sure to send both your address as well as your shirt size to business at the Rural Report. And congratulations, my friend.
I
B,
saw, hold up, wait.
what's
This
up?
this is like such a good corny joke. Because I would, oh, not that one, I'm sorry. I would say this and then laugh at my son. Like if I could see me like 55 and I
Such a
say, "Yeah,
dad
he's
joke.
waiting in the water, huh?" And my dad just and my kid just sighs out and like,
Such a dad joke.
I
That is
love that,
such
Philip Coleman. Thank you.
that is
That was
such a
great.
dad joke.
That was great.
Let's talk about the other. By the way, guys, what's the score? How we
It's
looking?
50-27 at half.
50-27. So
Yes,
we looking good out here in these
looking
streets. So
good. Until we win by 19, and I'm gonna be like, I told you so.
Georgia gonna hit a 3 at the last minute.
I'm telling you, man. I've seen it happen too many times, man. But I don't think Bruce gonna let up off these boys. So I think we're good. I think we're good for the 20.
What is KD? KD has 9.
He got 9.
So KD's the leading scorers. Or no, he's tied with Wendell. Wendell and KD both got 9. So
Okay.
let's talk about the other commitment from Oregon. Let's talk about DJ James. He's out of Spanish Fort, Alabama. He's a DB, of course, 6 feet, 180 pounds. He actually was a starter. He started 11 games at cornerback last year for Oregon and contributed with 46 tackles, 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. Will be a junior this year with 3 years of eligibility. How does this DB room look? Now, we don't have everyone listed. Here are people who we think will be competing for a cornerback position. So a lot of your guys who we think will be safeties aren't pictured or listed here. So returning players, you got guys like Ro Torrance, A.D. Diamond, Nehemiah Pritchett. Eric Reed is kind of a tricky one. He's kind of played both, but we got him listed here as a cornerback. Jalen Simpson, Jordan Davis, but the additions are DJ James, Keontae Scott, and of course, the kids out of high school, part of our recruiting class, Austin Alsbury and Jadarian Rhyme.
Yeah.
B. Will, how you feel about, again, we have another guy that we're replacing a lot of production from.
Yeah. So
how do you feel about this position group?
This is good for us because we had a problem at corner opposite Roger McCreary. We knew that we had some experience coming in with Keontae Scott, who's the number 1 JUCO corner. So when we signed him, we thought, okay, great. That's one of the cornerback spots, or the cornerback spot that Roger vacated, and that looks good. But we were still going to be either very young at the other spot, assuming it was, Osbury or Rhyme. Jalen Simpson looked great at times. He was a very aggressive corner, very physical corner. He also got burned some.
He got exposed at times.
Yeah. The longer he was on the field as the season wore on, he shortly became a little bit of a liability. And it was clear that other cornerback spot was not settled, that we didn't have exactly what we needed there. So between DJ James and Scott, it makes me feel like, okay, one of these corner spots is going to be solid at the very least. But I do feel like now we have a better idea of all the guys who played last year. The coaches know who they are, and I think that's a good thing. I do think the second year in a new scheme makes a huge difference, and I will attribute at least some of the secondary play struggles to it being a brand new scheme. Kevin Steele's scheme was simple, man. Man up.
Right.
Play your man. That's it. The best, if you are a really good athlete and you have very good instincts, you are going to succeed back there. And if you don't have that, it'll be okay. If we've got a good enough defensive line, which Kevin Steele did a couple times, you're going to look great because things are going to be a little easier for you back there. But that's not what Derek Mason was doing, man. You have to know your zone assignment. You have to know, if this guy comes through this zone, I'm going to react to this guy, but not that guy, because in this situation, I've got help. In that situation, I don't. And we kind of had to scheme around Smoke's seemingly, I don't want to say, I don't know if he struggled to either A, understand the scheme, or B, just be disciplined enough to stay where he was instead of going to attack. And I mean, and
Or
that
just
hurt us
playing
some.
slower, because you're thinking.
Right.
You're thinking as opposed of again, you said it. Still simplify the defense so you could play fast.
Right.
But if you're doing a lot of thinking, processing, trying to determine who you play, how you're reading the offense, you're not going to play fast. And so it definitely hurt his play. So I'm curious to see if he takes a step forward.
Right. And I think Rotorrance too, because he was one of the few people who seemed to struggle early, but by the end of the season, he was on the field a lot.
He was.
And I think that's a good sign for Mason and this defense and what he expects the DBs to do. So I think we actually will probably have a better secondary. Our secondary will be better. We love Smoke for what he was able to give us, but his floor was low. As we talk about with QBs, he had a high ceiling, but also a low floor. And that low floor hurt us at times. And sometimes that was discipline about tackling. I mean, 4 years, I don't know how many more examples you need of how to tackle cleanly and not hurt your team with it. But we will be a better secondary, not only with this cornerback, because it's an experienced cornerback who's played ball in a major conference. I get it. Everybody's, Oregon ain't. Yeah, but listen, these athletes are athletes, man. All these guys play ball that we got from Oregon. They all came from Alabama, the state of Alabama. They were down here, so they can get better prepared for the SEC by playing in Oregon. Oregon's not, chop suey. They are. Right. I mean, they're not us. We probably would have beat Oregon on neutral field last year. Yes, I do think that. But we needed more talent. We need guys who had snaps, who had been on the field, who had seen some real game speed. And this is a great fix for it. This is a great fix. I like the JUCO guys. I can't say I'm too excited about JUCO guys because they will now be as fresh to this system as some of our JUCO guys were last year. And they struggled early too. The system seems to be, and the same thing on offense. And I think this is something about both sides of the ball. It's, hey, guys, you are going to play some professional football. It's not going to be easy for you to get, but by the time you get it, you're going to be great and you're going to be prepared to play in the NFL.
Right.
That seems to be the pitch. And I know that looks way different than being able to come in year one and see both offense and defense just flying and scoring a bunch of points and getting a bunch of sacks and a bunch of INTs. Yeah, that will be great. But to prepare these guys to play at the next level and have it, I would rather it look rough up front and look a lot better on the back end. Hey, last year, it was rough. That was our rough year. So if we look considerably better at every level, then that is a win. It is a credit to Harsin as a hire to say that, hey, here's my plan. A lot of people, when they recruit, a lot of recruits are saying the same thing. Harsin laid out his vision for this team, and I really like what he is selling. And we haven't talked to these recruits to ask him, what is it exactly he's telling you about his plan? But I've got to assume that plan included NFL preparation and some professional schemes that the NFL is going to be asking you to play. Because that was something that was very, very different between this coach and the last coach. He couldn't claim that he was putting anybody in the league. Really, we had the off player here or there, but we really couldn't say that.
And you just look at the coaches he's going after to coach these kids as well. So it's obviously that's something he wants to do. But I also think I think for Mason and utilizing different types of schemes, a more complex scheme than what we're used to in the past, it also makes you a lot more multiple defensively.
Yeah.
There was times like once Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson left, we only had one way we could attack offenses. We became very predictable in terms of how we blitzed, in terms of how we tried to bring pressure.
Right.
And I think with Mason, if you can teach your guys to do different things in terms of playing aggressive and playing man, but then dropping back into the zone, you give the offense something to think about.
Right.
You now have multiple ways of attacking offenses. Now, hey, this quarterback struggles with the zone a little bit. We can play zone. Yeah. Or Let's pin our ears back and go after him. This quarterback doesn't do too well with, you know what I mean? We can do different stuff. We can show man and then drop in zone. We can show, we can do different types of the things they're asking you to do at the next level. I like where it's going. It's going to be growing pains because again, all the guys last year for their whole college career were used to playing defense one way.
Right.
And with the struggles that went on, we only had 2 really bad halves of football.
Yeah.
One was against Mississippi State. The other was against Georgia State.
Yep.
So I'm excited about how this defense is going to look moving forward because these guys understand what's being asked of them, and they look really good down the stretch of the season. Really good.
They did.
And so for us to be bringing in more talent, I know we've lost some guys up front, but we still have a lot of talented guys at every level. So I'm excited about what this defense is going to do in year 2. Lawrence Robinson says, y'all notice how a lot of these transfers are from the yes. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So these guys understand, they understand big time football. They understand how serious football is in this state. So I like that these are guys who we were able to get, guys who probably were looking at Auburn. But again, Oregon had an SEC guy as their head coach. So he knew all these guys as well. And so he was able to get them to go up to Oregon. Now that he's gone, these guys are coming home. And so I'm happy about it. And I think these guys, and someone mentioned Marcus Harris, who also came home from Kansas a year prior. You're getting those types of guys, and I'm hoping we have that type of production moving forward.
Same.
So be, in closing, man, as we get ready to head out and watch the second half of this game, what do you feel about where we stand currently with the portal? Guys who may enter the portal, guys who we're still looking at. Do you feel like we need any other, of course we could use another guy on the O-line, that goes without saying, but outside of that, any other position you would like to see us get somebody out of the portal?
I am actually, I see a couple players from Georgia just hit the portal, and I think we're done at quarterback. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. He might be collecting them like cards at this point. I don't know if he even wants them to play. He might just like talking to quarterbacks on the field. I have no idea. But I think we're done, even though JT Daniels is in the portal because Stetson Bennett decided to come back. And so when he said that, I guess JT Daniels was like, I've seen this before. I'm out of here. Right. There's a wide receiver that just hit the portal as well from Georgia. I don't remember his name, but TJ Finley on Twitter actually was recruiting him, telling them, saying like, hey, man, what's up? So I'm interested to see if we go after wide receiver. I don't think I can't say we don't need wide receiver talent. We've got some good talent at wide receiver. I am not down on wide receiver, actually, with what Shed showed last year towards the end of the year. Landon King back there.
Yeah.
Blake, bro, that's right. That's the receiver from Georgia, Jermaine Burton.
Okay.
But Landon King is back after having played some significant snaps in big games and looking good doing it. Tavares Dawson with what he showed in the bowl game. Javarius Johnson. I actually like our wide receiver room. I'm excited for Malcolm Johnson Jr. to get some more snaps because he's been, I think we said this on previous shows, he was what Shed had been, which is I'm going to do what you asked me. I'm going to block. I'm going to be in position when I need to be in position, but I'm not going to, he didn't get the target. So another year, a year being better, stuck around, hadn't jumped in the portal. I expect him to, a lot of our wide receivers, I think the second year will be when the light comes on. Do we need a Kobe Hudson, a make a dynamic catch, a juke dude out his shoes after a short catch him turned into a long game? Sure. Of course we do. Of course we need dynamic, incredible athletes at wide receiver. Maybe that guy's here and we just don't know it.
He may be here. I listen, I like the little bit I saw of Tavares Dawson.
Yeah, for real.
Clearly he can get behind the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious just to see what else he can do, man. Like we got some burners, man, and we got some talent. So
sure.
I just don't think, I think they were young. I think they were learning the position.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were learning what was being asked of them for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of factors. Again, just like the defense, I'm hoping these guys can play fast in year 2, understanding. And there's an opportunity, man. With Kobe, yeah, it's disappointing what happened there, but you got a big opportunity, man.
For sure. And
Just
that's
like
what I'm
Kobe
excited.
took advantage of it, it's your turn.
I actually think Jay Fair is going to be dynamic. I really like Jay Fair, the wide receivers we got coming in. So, yeah, I'm not down a wide receiver. The only place I really would like to see us, I know you said not counting this spot, but
sure, speak on it.
Offensive line, that's it. I think
that's a given, though.
Yeah, it is. There's a guard that's committed to Florida that's coming here on this weekend on the recruiting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And like, again, we're talking about Will Friend. Can he do it or not? Hey, man.
That would be a big one.
Come get him. Here's a dude. He's giving you a shot before signing day. Scoop him. Let's get him. We didn't get a lot of other guys. We didn't get any of the transfers we were trying to get on offensive line. None of them. Not the Cornell dude, not the Western Kentucky dude, not the 2 Virginia guys. None of them. So go get this dude.
And he actually pushed his commitment back.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving you an opportunity. You got to close a deal. Close a deal. Brian Hancher asks, or he says, I like Derek Mason. I hope he had something for Mike Leach Air Raid next year. Other than that, I have no complaints about him. Hope he stays. I think he stays. If he hasn't, of course, NFL team seasons are slowly ending with each week, but I think he stays, B.
Better too. Oh, yeah, and I forgot Camden Brown.
He's
the big body wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he's now. I don't think any wide receiver who doesn't get here in the spring has a chance of playing in the fall. Not with what the
unless you're like a portal guy who's had a lot of experience, which
right. But yeah, I think we're good at wide receiver. I'm actually not too concerned about wide receiver. Linebacker, I was until we got Asante. And I had to remember we got Powell and we got Woodyard. And you know what? I think we'll be all right. The question is not, do we not have enough linebackers? It's, do we have a dude at linebacker? We have not had a dude at linebacker. We had Zacoby for 3 strong years. Before Zacoby, when's the last dude we had at linebacker before Zacoby?
Deshaun Davis.
That's what he was solid. He was solid for us. Yeah, I think I would like Zacoby a little bit better than Deshaun Davis, but yeah, we need a dude. We need a dude at linebacker.
Well, we'll definitely see that. Listen, guys, I know the second half has started. Auburn is up 24. B, you feeling? How you feeling, B?
Hey man, listen. When it's 2 minutes left and we got nothing but scrubs in, let's talk about it then. I'm telling you, I've seen it too many times. That's right. How am I forgetting about KJ Britt? It's because he didn't play that last year.
He didn't play the last year.
That's what it's messing me up.
People said Josh Bynes, Britt.
Yeah, we've had dudes at linebacker, not Chris Frost.
Yeah,
no, not Chris Frost.
Listen, guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Please listen. We appreciate y'all watching while the game is on. I think that's what's more important. This has been real cool. We can't, we ain't been able to update y'all on the game. And usually we would have a game to talk about. So we just talk nothing but football. So next live, we will definitely discuss player of the game. Oh yeah, we also talked about we was gonna bring back what did you see? What did we see? So
we gotta get that together for Sunday.
We're gonna try to do it. We're gonna do better about that, guys. Yeah. So we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Listen, man. We say it all the time. We're going to say it again. Become a patron, guys. $5.99 will get you there. Be on the lookout for some of our exclusive behind-the-wall content that we're going to be dropping for you guys. Only here at the War Report. We appreciate you guys. Also, please be sure to donate to our GoFundMe. Help us out as we try to save the puppies, save the animals. That helps us out. Please visit the merch store, thewarreport.com. Also, congratulations to the winner of our AU t-shirt. We appreciate you, man, for entering in. Appreciate you guys. We love giving away free merch congratulations to those to the winner today. Also, we're on podcast. So if you want to hear this, you on the treadmill, on the way into work, or the way from work, we're on podcast, wherever podcasts are streamed, guys. You can listen to us, give our analysis from previous recordings. This will be up. When will this one be up?
Tomorrow by noon. The first part will be up tomorrow by noon. The second part will be up on Friday morning.
So we're keeping it current. We're definitely dropping multiple podcasts throughout the week, keeping you guys engaged. So please be sure, if you're in the podcast, please be sure to check us out there. We gladly appreciate you guys. Also, shout out to all of our sponsors, auburnsports.com, all of our guys who support. Please be sure to support us by supporting our sponsors. So we ran a few ads today. Please be sure to check out Rogue Shop. If you're into CBD products, guys, please be sure to check them out. We gladly appreciate it. Also, you know what to do, guys. Share this video. Hashtag Get Your Weight Up on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Please be sure to do that. Like this video. Subscribe to our page if you're new to our page. We gladly appreciate that. Also, guys, you know where to find us. We are at The War Report, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us at TW Report on TikTok. That's it for now, guys. But, we're going to be bringing you a lot of content and maybe some surprise content on the way. So
this might be.
If we get a new defensive line coach soon, we may do a pop-up. So keep your head on the swivel. We may be going live. So please be sure to stay tuned. But until then, guys, have a great rest of your week. And as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.